Israel's habit of picking on Israel wherever it can find it is already obvious. Add to that the fact that on Friday evening, near the end of last week, a new attack on Israel from the Houthis from Yemen. We also reported live on the notes of a puny attack while we were on the air. One of the things that immediately comes to mind when this happens is when a new wave of genocide begins in Gaza. It is doubtful that there will be an action from someone that does not hurt Israel in such a way that it can tell the world that it is under attack. It's not that it's not a wake-up call. Even if it is not, those who carry out those attacks cannot hurt Israel, nor do they have any stopping effect on the atrocities in Gaza. But Israel seems to have a trump card in its hand. Each of these is much talked about, much discussed. In fact, it is almost a general opinion that Iran will be targeted by Israel again. Before that, for example, we know what happened the other day with the attacks on South Lebanon. There were also Israeli counterattacks on Yemen, on power plants and fuel depots at different points in response to the attack from Yemen. Professor Dr. Poyraz Gursor asked Professor Dr. Poyraz Gursor, an important name, what kind of consequences it could have, what should we understand from what happened mutually. In our special file, let's listen to Irem Chetinkaya on how to read what happened in and around Israel in the last 4 or 5 days.
Last Friday, missile attacks were launched from Yemen against Israel's capital, Tel Aviv. Then Israel attacked 2 power plants and a fuel depot in Sana'a, the capital of Yemen. In this Israeli attack on Yemen, 6 people were killed and 86 people were injured. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu made a statement after these events and said that the attacks against Yemen will continue.
The Air Force once again struck strategic targets in Yemen today. It attacked the presidential palace in the heart of the capital Sana'a, the city's power plant. The Houthis are paying a heavy price for their aggression against Israel and will continue to do so.
But are these Israeli attacks against the Houthis in Yemen a cover for the genocide in Gaza?
In Israel's recent Houthi attacks in Yemen, public opinion, I'm very pleased to announce the continuation of genocide. Israeli operations, camouflage. Are these attacks being carried out for this purpose?
Netanyahu's attacks on Yemen are also perceived in the international arena as a strategy of kidnapping, as they manifest themselves as an attack in response to an attack. Is being evaluated.
Netanyahu and his genocidal cabinet, in a way that is consistent with the decisions of the International Criminal Court, will be forced to comply. Before Netanyahu leaves, it seems that he will be sent after he has done all the dirty work related to the Houthis and the region.
The U.S. has so far been a supporter of Israel's attacks on the Houthis in Iran and Yemen. So, given the current U.S. attitude towards Israel, how does Washington's attitude towards Netanyahu's actions continue? How does the Trump administration's approach affect the situation in Gaza in particular?
When the Trump administration is trying to achieve peace in the north in Ukraine, trying to bring this to a final conclusion, if we consider the searches against Baltan in the south and the sanctions against his former security advisors, in a way, the end of U.S. support for Israel in particular in terms of governance, and the end of the preceding period. Netanyahu's especially Yemen and the Houthis, and I think he is trying to open the door to an Iran that could continue after that.
Subtitle MK.